No other way we'd want to start things here at Thunder Hill Speedway. Once again, a big thank you to Shadow Kitchener, Trayton Velchek, and Bentley Halapka, or Shadow Kitchener, Bentley Halapka, for carrying the stars and stripes around the track today for our national anthem. As another quick reminder, we have a lot of racing action coming at you folks tonight for round number 4 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here at Thunder Hill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin. As we started last week, we are doing a slight detour from what you may know and come to expect as our normal running order here. We are going to be starting things off with our micro sprints class today, just to ensure that we're able to have the track conditions all set and ready to go for that class right off the bat. So we'll be starting things off strong with 2 different heats of micro sprint racing before we get into a heat of rookie cage, followed by 3 heats of Arbox and 3 heats of our junior wing class, 2 heats of our Legends Direct Legends cars, a heat race of the intermediate wing, 1 heat of Sportsman, 2 heats of our 125 250 wings, and then we will round off our heat races with our lone Gopher Midget Racing Series heat race. So lots of great action coming at you folks tonight. But we got to start things off strong right at the beginning here. Heat race number 1 for our micro sprints. Your lineup is going to look like this. We have 9 racers about to make 8 laps around this 6-mile Thunder Hill Speedway oval. On the inside of row number 1, we're going to see the 3J of Brandon Friedrich from Hudson, Wisconsin, alongside Carter Jensrud, racing the C71 out of River Falls, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2, it's going to be the 323 of Stacy, Minnesota's Tyler Polofsky. And to his right, Mason Subert racing the 99 out of Welch, Minnesota. Inside row number 3, it's going to be the 28 of Mason Hale out of Trempealeau, Wisconsin, side by side with Welcome, North Carolina's Jaden Wagner racing the 8W. Inside row number 4 sees the 10 of St. Cloud, Minnesota's Owen Henricks, and Brody Urbanski racing the 22 out of Lakeland, Minnesota. And all alone in that 5th and final row, it's going to be the 7C of Charlie Woolbeck from Bertram, Minnesota. 9 racers, 8 laps for heat 1 of 2 for your wingless micro sprints. We'll give them a couple laps here to warm up their tires, get a feel for the racing surface here before we get them all stacked up and ready to go for our first heat race of the evening. And just like that, they're getting lined up in their starting orders. Once again, it's Friedrich, Jensrud, Polofsky, Subert, Hale, Wagner, Henricks, Urbanski, Woolbeck rounding out your 9-car field for the wingless micro sprints, brought to you by K&K Racing. Out of turn 4, Going to give them another chance to line up. Not quite the start we were looking for there. Started to get a little spread out. I believe we will be going green this next time by. Green flag is out, and we are racing for the first time tonight here for round number 4. Out front, it's a nice side-by-side battle between Friedrich and Jensrud. Slight advantage looked to be going to Jensrud that time around on the outside, and just like that, he is able to pull away from that battle for the top few spots, already setting about 3 car lengths in between him and the 3J of Brandon Friedrich.
It's Jensrud out front with Friedrich, Hale, Wagner, and Subert. Now we've got 3 laps in the book. Carter Jensrud starts to stretch out that lead nearly a second. Great battle back in the field. Give the spot to Wagner by the number 99 of Subert.
Nice battle going on there.
All over the field here.
Nice 3, now 4 car battle for, I believe that is 3rd on back, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Out front all alone though, Jensrud pulling away with 2 laps left to go.
Carter Jensrud will see the white flag in C71. He's led the whole way. Here comes Wagner now to the inside of Hale. Hale closes the door into turn number 1. But through turn 3 and 4, Carter Jensrud wins heat race number 1. Second will go to Mason Hale. Third is Jaden Wagner. Fourth is Brandon Friedrich. And fifth will go to Mason Subert.
Some nice racing action. I mean, those K&K Racing micro sprints always put up a show for us. And so I love getting us off strong with their heat race there. I mean, there were moments where we were flirting with 4 wide. I know we had 3 wide for that battle for second most of the race there. But 4 cars all in one spot, they always put on a great show, and I expect they'll do the same here in heat number 2. Colin, I will let you take things away with the heat 2 lineup.
Starting on the inside of row number 1, this driver's from New Richmond, Wisconsin. That's the 37 of Landon Davis. To the outside, the 46G, that's Jackson Jiraji. Jackson races from Ellsworth, Wisconsin. Inside of row number 2, it's Alyssa Eady in the 100 from St. Michael, Minnesota. Into the outside, Maddie Hale from Trempealeau, Wisconsin in 28X. Kelly Turner from Otter Creek, Wisconsin drives 23 on the inside of row number 3. And to the outside, it's Jackson Peters from Waupun, Wisconsin in the 26P. Row number 4, it's Brendan Newville in 249X from Clear Lake, Wisconsin. And the 8th and final starter from Becker, Minnesota, it's Marshall Willig in 128. 8 cars going 8 laps for your second and final micro sprint heat race. No B mains for the micro sprints, all 16 making the show. Field starts to bunch up down the back straightaway. Just kidding, they do not bunch up. And we will see one more circuit around before we will take the green flag for our second and final heat race. Once again, 8 laps for these 8 cars. All advancing to the A main. There's our cars stretching themselves out, kind of seeing if we can widen out the racing surface here. As that first heat race was a little bottom dominant, just because of the track preparations before this heat racing action. Let's see if we'll have them bunch up here. And they will. Next time around, we will see the green flag for the second and final micro sprint car heat race. 8 cars, once again, with Landon Davis and Jackson Jiraji setting the pace down the back straightaway as they look for the flag out of turn number 4, and we are underway.
Davis with a great hop right off the line there, able to pull away. Already about 3 car lengths separating him and that 3-4 kart battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth. And now we have Jiraji in the 46G slowly pulling away from that battle. It's now turned down to a 2-car battle for third, third and fourth, but we have a nice little battle there developing at the rear of the field as well, with our entire second half of the field battling for that 5th place spot on the track right now. Out front alone, though, Davis still leading the charge, pulling away from Giraji in the 46G.
It's a good battle between Newville, Willing, Hale, and Peters. Give the 4th spot right now to Willing, and then it's Peters and Hale. Peters once again on the outside. Landon Davis continues to lead. Giraji in second. Then it's Newville, Willing, Peters, Hale, Turner, and Edie rounding out the running order right now.
Coming out of turn number 4, 2 laps left to go for your current points leader, the 37 of Davis, already with a 1.3 second advantage over Giraji in the 46G. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go for your heat race leader as he comes up on the back end of the field. Through turns 3 and 4, checkered flag is gonna fly. Your points champion is a heat race winner tonight, Landon Davis. From flag to flag, gonna take the W. Giraji gonna finish second, and it's going to be the 249X of Newville from the back row, rounding out your podium for heat race number 2 of your K&K Racing Micro Sprints class. Now that was our Micro Sprints, and now we're gonna move on to something completely different here at Thunderhill Speedway, as we're going to bring out our rookie cage racers. So now, whereas the micro sprints are probably the highest level of racing that we have here at Thunderhill Speedway, the rookie cage class, they're going to be our fresh starters, our brand new racers, the little youngsters out there hitting the track. These racers, you know, they may have been at it for possibly a year by now, maybe even a little less than that. Maybe this is their first season of racing. For some of these racers, it may even be their second or third time behind the wheel of a kart. So these are going to be kids who are just learning the fundamentals of racing, getting a feel for the racing surface and getting a feel for their kart, and also, you know, getting an idea of what racing exactly is. So we have 6 racers who will be hitting the track in our rookie cage class. It'll be the 13 of Colfax, Wisconsin's Julian Logslet, Mila Baker racing the 60 JR out of Boyd, Wisconsin, Winona, Minnesota's Sam Pettit racing the 5S machine, the 11 of Owatonna, Minnesota's Brooklyn Demmel, Theo LeBlond racing the 22 out of Downsville, Wisconsin, and rounding out your 6 kart field is going to be Fall Creek, Wisconsin's Jack Smith racing the 16 machine. Now, like I was saying, this class is going to operate a little bit differently because these racers are brand new in most aspects to the racing side of things. We're not going to do the traditional, you know, line up double file start for them. We are going to send them out onto the track, give them the green flag right away, and just let them feel what it's like to have a racing machine underneath them, be behind the wheel, and get a little bit of knowledge on their side before they move up to one of the next classes in the next year or two. Looks like we're just doing some light track work here. Micro sprints weren't able to dry off the track quite as much as we wanted for our rookie cage class. So we want to make sure the track is all set and ready to go before our youngsters come on out there. So we have the big rigs out there. We have a truck getting things all set and ready to go. Looks like we're also smoothing out the track surface a little bit. And man, take a look over your shoulder for all of those in the grandstands right now. We have a beautiful crowd out here tonight on a beautiful night for round number 4 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here at Thunderhill Speedway. The weather is absolutely phenomenal. We're happy to have some great racing action on a beautiful sunny Wednesday night. Well, we have a quick moment here. I want to take some time to thank a few of our sponsors. QualityFreightRate.com, doing all your freight shipping needs. On the auto parts side of things, we have Auto Value Parts Store, and Conrad's Auto Salvage along for the ride here for the full 2025 season. But we can't forget tonight's premier sponsors, Red Cedar Speedway and T&T Construction. They are along for the ride for tonight's round number 4 of the Storm Series here at Thunder Hill Speedway. Here for the whole season, but we're extremely thankful to have them along for the ride tonight, specifically as our main sponsors. We still have a couple minutes here of track prep to go. For those of you live streaming tonight on MBTVSports.com, we're going to take a super quick commercial break before we get back to some green flag action here for our rookie cage class in just a moment. Track prep seems to be coming to a close here as turn 3 and 4 are looking to start to get all situated here. You may have heard us over the loudspeakers a couple seconds ago. As a reminder, we are live streaming tonight's events on MBTVSports.com. So for any friends or family who may not have been able to make it tonight, feel free to send them that link. We are live streaming on the MBTVSports.com website, along with the YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages as well. So send those links on over so that everyone is able to hear all of the racing action for round number 4. A few of our stream sponsors along for the ride this season. Want to give a huge shout out to Kaiser Wheels, Foot and Ankle Clinic PA, Stream Dudes, River's Edge, Apple River, Kevco Race Components, and Butler Built Professional Seat Systems. Thanking them along for being able to bring you some live streaming content all season long here at Thunder Hill Speedway. As we finish up the track prep here, prior to our rookie cage class, for those of you in the grandstands, now is going to be a perfect time to hit up the restroom if need be, run to the concession stand, grab a nice cool beverage, some food, and we will be back in just a few minutes. For those of you live streaming tonight, we'll hear a word from our sponsors.
The problem, tell you why it's happening and what you should do to prevent it in the future. Me and my team have been together for over 20 years.
High-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
Welcome back, race fans, to round number 4 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here at Thunder Hill Speedway, as we are officially back under green flag conditions for our rookie cage class, as they are just hitting the track now. We ran through it earlier, but another quick look at tonight's racers. In the rookie cage class, we have the 13 of Julian Logslet. Mila Baker racing the 60 JR machine there in the white and pink. The 22 of Theo LeBlanc just behind her. 5S of Sam Pettit. Brooklyn Demel racing the 11. And the 16 of Jack Smith rounding out your field for the rookie cage class here. Now our racers getting a nice feel for the surface there. You see the 11 of Brooklyn Demel putting the pedal to the metal and pulling away from the competition there. The 13 of Julian Longslet right behind her, pulling away, making everything out there look easy. Take a look at the 16 of Jack Smith as well, putting on a great show there on the back straightaway. We have a nice little 3-rider battle for position through turns 1 and 2. Out front, the purple 11 of Demel putting on a great show for everyone, pulling away slightly from the 60 JR of Baker. Baker bringing some nice racing action to this 6th mile oval here at Thunder Hill Speedway. As we slowly but surely start to spread them out slightly. Now, as a reminder here, this class that is on the track right now, our rookie cage class, is not quite exactly your traditional kart class that you would see normally. These racers are brand new to racing, believe just between the ages of 5 and 7, if I am remembering correctly. So they are the youngest of the young, the fresh youngsters out there, getting a feel for what racing is like. Most of these racers are in their 1st or 2nd year behind the wheel of a kart, so they're still getting to learn, what it's like to be out on a racetrack, what it's like to be racing side by side with others. And for some of these racers who are pretty fresh and brand new, they might still even be getting to learn a little bit about what it's like to be behind the wheel of a racing kart here. So we're just kind of taking things smooth and casual. We're not going full green flag, line them up side by side action, but we are still going to give them a chance to feel what that glory is like. And just like that, the checkered flag is going to fly. Once again, the 13 of Longslet, Baker in the 60 JR, the 5S of Pettit, Demel in the 11, LeBlanc in the 22, and the 16 of Smith, all going to collect their checkered flags for their heat race of the evening, your rookie cage competitors. Up next, we're moving into a 3-wide triple heat for our Arbox class. Colin, I'll give it away to you to give us the starting lineup for heat number 1.
First of 3 heat races for tonight's Arbox division will line up like this on the inside of row number 1. That's the 23 from Wheeler, Wisconsin. It's Harper Holopka. And to the outside, it's Thatcher Nelson. Thatcher from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin in the 85. Inside of row number 2 from Hudson, Wisconsin, it's Austin Hoover driving the 777. Outside of Austin, driving the 19H, it's Henrik Hollerud. Henrik from Spring Valley, Wisconsin. Starting in the 5th spot from Menominee, it's Barrett Evans in the 88E, and to the outside, Palmer Haas in the 21 from Thorpe, Wisconsin. Final row looks like this. It's Ben Bargender from Marshfield, Wisconsin, driving the 10X. And then to the outside, the 17, Josiah Hoffbeck from Randolph, Minnesota.
8 racers taking 8 laps around this glorious 6th mile track. We have a total of 22 entries tonight, but only 12 are going to be able to make it into the A main later on this evening. As a reminder, we will be having a B main later on tonight to allow a few last-minute contenders into that A main. So even though this is a heat race, we are going to be seeing some intense battles throughout these next 3 heats to ensure that they are able to make it directly into the A main without having to fight their way through the B main. Later on today, after the heat races, we'll come out of turns 3 and 4, little bumping and banging, not quite gonna be the start we were looking for, I believe. We'll see if that slides, and it looks like that'll be the case, as we are going to stay under green flag conditions.
Green stays out. Harper Holopka leads lap number 1, and it's Thatcher Nelson. Ben Bargender was the big recipient of that kerfuffle on the start. He'll have the 3rd spot. A good battle now for that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th spot. It's Nelson, Bargender, Hollerud, Evans, and Haas, all racing in fence post formation.
Now, you know, that's exactly what Harper Holopka needed right here. You know, he started off on the pole. He wasn't caught up in any of that drama there through turns 3 and 4, so he was able to absolutely pull away from the rest of the field. And now we have that nice 5-cart battle for position just outside of that top spot.
Here comes Evans looking to the outside of the 19H of Hollerud. Evans unable to make anything happen. Holopka still leads the lead this time by a little under 2.5 seconds for the 23 of Holopka.
White flag is out. One more lap to go for Harper Holopka, with the 2.5-second gap over the 85 of Thatcher Nelson. One final time out of turns 3 and 4. Harper Holopka gonna take the checkered here today after a wild start for heat race number 1. Nelson is going to finish 2nd, and it's going to be Barrett Evans racing the 88E, who will be rounding out your podium for heat race number 1 of 3 in your Arbox class. Before we get into your next lineup here for heat race number 2, wanted to send a quick shout out to a couple new broadcast sponsors that we brought on since we started tonight's racing activities here. Tech Connect Audio and Security Company and William Denzer Schaefer's an oil rep. We're happy to have them along for the rest of the 2025 season here at MBTVsports.com. Heat race number 2 for our Arbox class up next. First row is going to see the 22 out of Downsville, Wisconsin, Dirks LeBlond on the pole. To his right, Dakota Bus out of Boyceville, Wisconsin, going to be racing the 787 inside row number 2. It's going to be the 20X of Axon Fahrenholtz out of Minnesota City, Minnesota. Side by side with Stanley, Wisconsin's Henry Junker in the 36. Row number 3 has the 93 of Kate Knops out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, along with the 1 of Bentley Larson, also out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And in that 4th and final row, all by himself, it's going to be the 38J of Jace Frericks, racing out of Grove City, Minnesota. Coming out of turn number 4, green flag is going to fly. The 787 of Bus, way up high, not the start Bus was looking for. Rest of the field going to hit the track.
Racing continues. No, the caution flag will come out. We will get a caution. We'll probably get a complete restart here. I did not see clearly what happened over there on the start, Zach, but it did not look good.
Yeah, all of a sudden they had just taken the green flag, and all of a sudden the 787 of Dakota Bust took a strong right-hand turn there, way high up into the marbles. I mean, like you said, not quite sure exactly what happened there. Just saw a quick diversion. But your starting lineup, once again, is going to end up being LeBlanc, Bus, Fahrenholtz, Junker, Knops, Larson, Frericks for a 7-cart lineup for heat race number 2 of the Arbox class. Looks like we have everyone back in their correct restart order. We are going to be doing a full restart here. We'll send them onto the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is going to fly. And this time, with a little bit of assistance, the 787 of Bus Gonna get partially sideways on the front straightaway, collect a few other racers there in tow. Now, as a reminder, like I was saying earlier, we are going to be having a B main in this class tonight. So our Arbox racers are going to be giving it their absolute all, even in the heat race here. Traditionally, the heat race is just going to be your lineup for the main event later on in the evening. But these racers right now are fighting for a direct transfer position to that A main. So you're definitely going to see a lot more hustle under their bustles before we get our checkered flag here tonight. As everyone gets lined up and ready to go for our next restart, wanted to send another quick reminder that our next race, 2 weeks from now, that Wednesday night special that we have going on July 23rd. Now, even though it's not going to be a points classes night, it's going to be non-points racing, we are going to be racing for money all night. In every class except the rookie cage class, carts will be battling it out head-to-head for some dollar bills. So make sure to watch Facebook for full details that will be coming out relatively soon. More information to follow, as now it looks like we will be going single file for our next restart here in heat race number 2. Out of turn 4, green flag is gonna fly, and it's gonna be the 22 of LeBlanc leading the charge into turns 1 and 2.
Here comes Junker now to the inside for second. Give the fourth starter the second spot as LeBlanc leads Junker, Fahrenholtz, Bus, and Knopp rounding out the top 5 in your running order.
LeBlanc with a nice blistering pace, slowly but surely pulling away from that second place racer. Almost a second gap in between LeBlanc and Junker. Junker, your current points champion in the Arbox class. It goes LeBlanc, Junker, Fahrenholtz, Knopf, Larson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as we're just about reaching the halfway point of heat race number 2, and that battle out front is slowly but surely diminishing. LeBlanc looks down to the inside, Junker to the outside, as we now have a battle for the lead.
Junker right on the back bumper of LeBlanc. Junker looking for any sort of mistake. There it is. LeBlanc pushes up the racetrack. The battle will be at the line. LeBlanc still has it, but Junker now gets underneath him into turn number 1.
Two laps left to go in this heat race, and Junker now out front has a clear track ahead of him. He's trying to pull away from that battle for the lead. LeBlanc isn't going to go quite so easy, though, as he's trying to stay on the tail of Junker. 2 laps. Now white flag is out, 1 lap left to go for Henry Junker.
Junker down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Junker will pick up the win. Dirk LeBlanc second. Third will go to Fahrenholtz, then it's Knopf, Larson, Bus, and Freerex.
Henry Junker from the middle of the pack, able to take away the heat race win tonight in heat race number 2. Heat race number 3. Colin, I'll let you give us our starting lineup for the third and final heat race of the Arbox class.
Starting on the pole, it's Otto Erickson in the 32 from Colfax, Wisconsin. Outside from Boyd, Wisconsin, it's Levi Haas in the 60. Inside of row 2 from Elk Mound, Wisconsin, that's the 44 of Levi Anderson. And to the outside, Menominey's own Brantley Langer in 34. Starting in the 5th spot is Luke Pettit in the number 4 from Winona, Minnesota. And to the outside from Colfax, Wisconsin, it's Oakley Booth in 16. Jack Hampton from Milan, Minnesota, in the number 10, starts in the 7th spot, your 4th and final row. Leading us to the green, it's Otto Erickson and Levi Haas for your 3rd and final Arbox heat race.
out front, pulling away. Haas with a nice jump out of turn number 4. Gonna already try to set a gap in between him and that battle for second on back. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, all within a stone's throw of each other. Booth, though, from the third row, already up to second, setting his sights on Levi Haas out front. Booth, currently sitting second place in the points right now, has some gains to make. So he wants to start things off with a nice heat race win here. It's Haas, Booth, Erickson, Langer, Pettit, your top 5 as it stands.
The battle for the lead starts to heat up, as well as the battle for the third and fourth spot. Here comes Booth to the inside of Haas. Gives the spot to Oakley Booth, who leads lap number 4. We've got 4 down, 4 to go. That brings Haas to the second spot, and then Pettit, Langer, and Erickson.
Haas looks high, ducks down low through 3 and 4, but it is all Booth all alone. Trying to pull away, set that gap, but Haas isn't going to go without a fight. He's got that nice low line there. He still has 2 laps left to make something happen. We'll see if Booth or Haas is able to take over that lead in that battle. At the rear of the field, though, nice racing action going on there. The 10 of Canton leading a 3-kart battle at the white flag. 1 more lap to go for Oakley Booth.
Oakley Booth down the back straightaway. Oakley will lead the last 4 laps to pick up heat race number 3. Levi Haas will come home second, Luke Pettit in third, Brantley Langer fourth, Jack Canton in fifth, Otto Erickson sixth, and Levi Anderson rounds out the 7th and final finishing spot.
Now, wow, that third row was definitely one to compete with in that heat race. Oakley Booth starting on the outside of row number 3, taking the heat race win, and Luke Pettit on the inside of row 3, finishing third. Both of those racers sitting second and third in the year-end points currently, and you can see why after the performances in that class. That was our Arbox class. Up next is going to be Junior Wing. Again, 3 heat races here tonight. And we have a B main in this class, so we'll be seeing a lot more side-by-side battles. For heat race number 1, we have the 31 of Menominee, Wisconsin's very own Grant Keller, side-by-side with Alan Byrne in the 8 out of Trempealeau. The 85T of Cronchow, Hoffbeck in the 14, Bargender in the 10, and Bust in the 88 are going to make up your 6-kart field as we are green flag racing here for heat race number 1 of the Junior Wing class, already single file onto the front straightaway.
Keller leading lap 1 with Hoffbeck, Byrne, Bargender, Buff, and Proxnell. The lead right now for Grant Keller, just under a third of a second. Archer Hoffbeck looking for any sort of mistake to try and capitalize, but Grant Keller continues to lead in 31.
Hoffbeck had a really nice start there. Started in the outside of row number 2, already battling up for that top spot there, setting his sights on Keller, but Keller setting a great blistering pace out front, trying to pull away from the rest of the field as our top 2 karts are slowly starting to gap the rest of the field. We have the 8 of Byrne sitting there all alone, about a second and a half behind your battle for the lead. Bargender about 3 seconds back from there in that battle for 4th and 5th. 2 laps left to go for the 31 of Grant Keller.
Keller's led the whole way as the field has now stretched themselves out. White flag will fly for Grant Keller 1 more time around. Let's see if Archer Hoffbeck has anything for him here on the last lap. Down the back stretch into turn 3 and 4. He will not. Grant Keller wins heat race number 1. Archer Hoffbeck in second, Joseph Bargender third, Kane Bucks fourth, Ty Proxnell in the 5th spot, and Alan Byrne rounds out the field in 6th.
Nice gap from
Good
those top
action
2
there.
racers. Before we got back to that battle for 3rd place there, our top 2 racers, Keller and Hoffbeck, definitely pulling away from the rest of the field. Nice to see them far out front. That was heat race number 1 of 3. Heat race number 2, another 6 racers coming at you. We have the 30 of Chautauqua, Wisconsin's Nathan Gunderson alongside Reagan Rosenboom out of Rock Rapids, Iowa in the 40. Row number 2 sees the 21M of Woodville, Wisconsin's Owen Malmgren, along with Kinsley Schmutz racing out of Menominee in the 7DJR. And in that third and final row, we have the 21 of Ashton Fahrenholtz from Minnesota City, Minnesota, alongside the 99 current points champion, Bentley Halapka out of Wheeler, Wisconsin. 6 racers, 8 laps for heat race number 2. And again, we are going to have a B main in this class. We have 18 entries tonight. Only 12 are going to be able to race the A main later on this evening. So we will be seeing some nice side-by-side battles, fighting it out to try to get that direct transfer position. Tightly packed onto the back straightaway. We'll send them into turn number 3. A little bumping and banging there already. Green flag is going to fly. We'll see if that start stands. And there goes the yellow. Not quite the start our officials were looking for. We had some bumping and banging going into turn number 3 there. I believe it was the 7DJR. Getting a little bumped out of line there. Teresa Gunderson says go Nathan Gunderson. Gunderson starting on the pole in the number 30. Getting a shout out on MBTVsports.com. If you are live streaming tonight's events, feel free to drop some shout outs to any of the fellow racers or friends out there in attendance. We'll be happy to give them some love on the stream. Green flag is going to fly though, and this time it'll be the 40 of Rosenboom leading the crew into 1 and 2.
Regan Rosenboom gets a good start on the outside, but now here comes the 99 of Bentley Halapka. We've got one around. That's the 21 of Malmgren. Malmgren able to keep going. Rosenboom leads lap number 1.
Halapka from the very back of the field already battling for that top spot. There's no guesses here as to why he's your current points champion, but he's setting his sights on the 40 of Rosenboom, who's not going to go without a challenge. Our top 2 racers slowly but surely pulling away from the rest of the field as they now have a near 2-second gap between them and that battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th between Fahrenholtz, Gunderson, and Schmutz.
A huge racing background for the leader right now with his grandpa and his dad. Dad will race a midget later tonight, but right now Regan's got company in the 99 of Halapka. Halapka looks to the outside with 3 laps to go. Lap traffic of Malmgren coming into play here. Rosenboom looks to Malmgren's inside. He'll have the pass. Let's see if Halapka can do anything. This might be what Rosenboom needs to pick up the win in this heat race.
We went from about a 1-cart difference between our top 2 racers through that lap traffic, now back to about a 10-cart distance in between 2. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go, and Rosenboom is going to lead the charge out of turn number 4. Checkered flag is going to fly, and Rosenboom is going to be a heat race winner here tonight. Bentley Halapka, after a hard-fought battle, going to have to settle for 2nd. And the 21 of Fahrenholtz, also from the back row, is going to round out your top 3 for heat race number 2. Heat race number 3, another 6 carts coming at you. Your starting lineup is going to look like this. The 19 of Owatonna, Minnesota's Jacob Demmel on the pole, side by side with the 20 of Mason Lockburner out of Bruce, Wisconsin. Row number 2, we have the 1S of Dylan Subert racing out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And to his right, Winona, Minnesota's Jonathan Pettit III racing the 3J. In that third and final row, we have the 15JR of Farmington, Minnesota's Luke Patterson, and Owen Tarvis racing the 70 out of Cameron, Wisconsin. Again, 6 carts, 8 laps for heat number 3 of the junior wing class. The 2 carts that you're going to want to keep an eye on in this class are going to be the 1S of Subert and the 19 of Demmel as the green flag flies. They're sitting second and third in the points, and though they're not fighting for points right now, we're going to see who gets the better starting position for the A main if they're both able to transfer directly through. And Demmel with a great hop off of the line already has set about a 5-cart gap in between him and that side-by-side battle for second and third between Subert and Pettit.
Pettit's got the second spot. Now here comes Owen Tarvis to the inside of Subert. Slight contact through the center of the corner. Gives the nod to Tarvis barely into turn 3. Good crossover move from Subert. Good racing here for the third and fourth position between Subert and Tarvis.
Demmel out front all alone with a nice gap over him and those battles for second on back. Pettit has now secured that second place spot solely Subert after getting into that battle with Tarvis. Tarvis gonna hard charge him to the inside. Subert's off the pace, but we've got one cart going around, which may have been exactly what Subert needed there. Looks like that was the 15 JR of Luke Patterson looping it around in turn number 4. With the caution out, this will bring our carts back together as we come to, I believe, our first restart of the junior wing class. It's going to be Demmel leading them out front. Pettit, the third, sitting in that second place spot. Then I believe the 1S of Subert will sit third, the 70 of Tarvis fourth, and the 20 of Lockburner will round out your top 5.
Looks like we may have Tarvis in the wrong position, so Tarvis will get up one spot to get into this restart here. And then next time around, the field will go back to green flag racing with 5 laps to go. Jacob Demmel has led the whole way so far, with Pettit, Subert, Tarvis, Lockburner, and Patterson set to go back to the green with 5 laps to go.
Green flag is going to fly. Subert with a nice hop on the inside, taking that low line. But out front, it's a 3-cart battle for the lead. Demmel holding on to that top spot right now. Pettit right behind. A side-by-side battle for third now developing. Subert has it. Tarvis wants to take that third place spot. I believe it's only 3 spots directly transferring for the A main, so that third and fourth place battle is definitely going to affect things later on this evening. Subert has it. Tarvis wants it, and don't count out the 15 JR of Patterson trying to get into the mix as well.
Patterson takes a big swing at Tarvis, and he's able to make it stick. Demmel's going to see the white flag here in 19. He's led the whole way around. Pettit in that second spot. Right now, down the back straightaway through turn 3 and 4 for the final time. He's on your screen if you're watching live on MBTV Sports. Jacob Demmel wins heat race number 1. Jonathan Pettit the third in second. Dylan Subert in third. Fourth will go to Luke Patterson. Owen Tarvis in the 5th spot, and 6th will go to Mason Lockburner. Next up on the card will be the Legends Direct Legend cars. And your first heat race will look like this on the inside of row number 1. It's Teddy Kashadi in the 7K from Ramsey, Minnesota. And to the outside from Sparta, Wisconsin, it's Davey Pinnell in 86. Inside of row number 2, Arkansas, Wisconsin's Shadow Kitchener driving 68. And to the outside, that's the 4S, it's Chris Sleep from Osseo, Wisconsin. Inside of row number 3, from Pierce, South Dakota, that's the 60 of Mark Rohrer. And to the outside, it's Josiah Kashadi in the 67 from Ramsey, Minnesota. 6 cars will go 8 laps for your first heat race for the Legend cars. Looks like everybody able to make the call for heat race number 1. Field is set to go green out of turn number 4 with Kashadi and Pinnell. And they get to the line, and we are underway.
Teddy Kashadi going to lead them through 1 and 2. Down to the inside, though. I believe that was the 68 of Shadow. Kitchener taking over your lead right behind him now. A battle for the top spot. I believe that might have been Josiah Kashadi, if I'm seeing things correctly. Or Davey Pinnell, my bad. Davey Pinnell now down to the inside. It's Kitchener, Pinnell, Kashadi, 1, 2, 3.
Kitchener's got it. Pinnell in that second spot, heavy on the bottom. Kitchener right through the middle of the Thunder Hill Speedway, able to hang on to the lead with that momentum off of the middle side of the speedway. Now here comes Pinnell to the inside. Kitchener says no.
Holding on to that lead by just a thread. He's now able to pull away slightly on the front straightaway as Pinnell going around in turn number 4. That is going to draw the caution. Some tight racing here in just those first few laps of our Legends Direct Legend Cards Heat Race number 1. We have 6 racers in Heat 1, 5 racers in Heat 2 for a total of 11 entries in the Legends Direct Legends Cards class. For those of you live streaming on MBTVsports.com, a quick look at what exactly happened there through turns 3 and 4. Pinnell with the deep charge coming out of 4, gets things a little too slideways, goes right down to the inside, completely untouched, which is going to give Kitchener just what he needs out front. Green flag is going to fly as we are halfway through heat race number 1.
Kitchener gives himself a little breathing room down the back straightaway. It's Kashadi and Kashadi. That is Eddie and Josiah in the running order. And then it's Chris Sleep, Brewer, and Pinnell. But right now, Kitchener on cruise control out front in 68.
Kitchener leading the charge and pulling away from that battle for second, third, and fourth. Kashadi, Sleep, Pinnell, all within just about a second and a half of each other there as we get onto the back straightaway. Kitchener now with a full second advantage. Checkered flag is flying though, and it's going to be the 68 machine of Shadow Kitchener taking the heat race win tonight. The 7K of Teddy Kashadi going to finish second, and it's the 67 of Josiah Kashadi from the final spot, rounding out your podium for heat race number 1 of 2 in the Legends Direct Legends Cars class. Heat race number 2, your lineup's going to look like this. The 33 of Derek Crumrye out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, just down the road. And to his right, the 52 of Marshfield, Wisconsin's Jeff Barth. Inside row number 2, we have the 49 of Aiden Erickson racing out of Cumberland, Wisconsin, side by side with Ridgeland, Wisconsin's Levi Brewer racing the 94 machine. And all alone in that third and final row, it's going to be Sun Prairie, Wisconsin's number 6 of Eric Blummer. 5 racers about to hit the track for 8 laps here for heat race number 2 of the Legends Direct class. Looks like only 4 of our cars. Oh, there we have the 5th car. All 5 cars making the lineup here. Out front, though, and already pulling away, the 49 of Erickson, setting the pace and showing everyone how it's done here.
Erickson will lead lap number 1, and then it's Bloomer and Crumrye. Bloomer on the top in the number 6, Crumrye on the bottom in 33. Bloomer gets a good run down the back straightaway. Aiden Erickson continues to show the way in number 49.
Liking that midline, the 33 machine of Crumrye taking that extreme low line, some nice side-by-side action lap after lap between Bloomer and Crumrye. But now we're turning this into a 3-car battle for the lead there as the 6 of Bloomer starts to look to the outside of Erickson. Your top spot, Erickson, Bloomer, Crumrye, Brewer, Barth, currently your top 5 as it stands.
The battle for the lead starting to heat up here. Bloomer starting to get a little bit of a rhythm on the top side. He's looking to close in on the 49. Erickson and Bloomer start to battle for the lead. Erickson's had it the whole way. Let's see if Bloomer can find anything on the top side.
2 laps left to go, and we're now locked in a dead heat battle up at the front of the field. Bloomer with that high line, Erickson with the midline. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go for Aiden Erickson. He's going to pull onto the back straightaway. Bloomer looking to the outside, seeing if he has anything left to go in him. Drag race down to the line. Checkered flag is going to fly, and it's going to be the 49 of Erickson taking the heat race win tonight. The 6th of Bloomer from the back row, going to settle for a hard-fought 2nd place, and it'll be the 33 of Derek Crumrye rounding out your podium for heat race number 2 of the Legends Direct Legend cars. Up next, we have our intermediate wing class, where we just have 1 lone heat race of 10 racers about to hit the track for 8 separate laps. Lineup's going to look like this. The 3J of Winona, Minnesota's Jonathan Pettit III, side by side with Reed Smith, racing the 44 out of Stanley, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2, we have the 8X of Alan Byrne from Trempealeau, Wisconsin, and the 8 of Kennedy Cluckus out of Colfax. The 27 of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Xander Glumsky, going to sit on the inside of row number 3, side by side with Austin Marthler, racing the 100M out of Wilmont, Minnesota. The 1S of Dylan Subert out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and Kalen Haas, racing the 17 from Thorpe, Wisconsin, going to make up row number 4. And row 5 is going to go to the 29 of Noah Pollock out of Pepin, Wisconsin, alongside Sauk Center, Minnesota's Vincent Marthler, racing the 87 machine. 10 racers, 8 laps. Green flag is flying, and it's going to be Pettit leading the hard charge into turns 1 and 2.
Pettit at the point, Reed Smith, along with Byrne, battling it out for 2nd at the line. Give the top spot to Pettit, Smith, Byrne, Subert, and Klukas rounding out the top 5 in the running order.
Pettit pulling away from the rest of the field, but it's the 8X of Byrne setting his sights, trying to take over a battle for the lead there. Lap by lap, he's gaining a little bit of speed on the 3J of Pettit. Last time around, there was a .278 gap. Pettit's putting the pedal to the metal, though, as he's doubling that gap there. Philip Gray saying, let's go Noah Pollock. Pollock sitting just outside of the top 5 right now, making some moves up through the field. Sending a shout out to him. Out front alone, though, that battle still raging between the 3J of Pettit III and the 8X of Byrne. Just behind them, the 44 of Smith, 17 of Haas, and the 1S of Subert. Now 5.
Everybody's starting to stretch themselves out here. That time around, 2 laps to go now for Jonathan Pettit III in the 3J, who's led the whole way. White flag flies 1 more time for Jonathan Pettit III.
Making the way through turns 1 and 2 onto the back straightaway. He's led every lap so far, and he's going to have a clean heat race win. Checkered flag is going to fly for the 3J of Jonathan Pettit III, taking the heat race win today. The 8X of Byrne going to finish 2nd, and it'll be the 44 of Reese Smith rounding out your top 3 in your lone intermediate wing heat race. That was intermediate wing. Up next, we're going to move on to our Sportsman class. Colin, I'll let you take away the starting lineup.
1 heat race for the Sportsman division, and the lineup will look like this. From Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, driving the 76, it's Josh Fuster. To the outside, driving the number 5, it's Wes Velchek from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Inside of row number 2, from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, it's Steve Savals in the 191. And to the outside, from Rock Falls, Wisconsin, it's Trayton Velchek in 55. Inside of row number 3, the 74, it's Jake Johnson. Jake driving out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Starting in the 6th spot from Rock Falls, Wisconsin, it's Ashton Henshin in the number 88. And the 4th row will look like this. From Hudson, Wisconsin, it's Matt Velchek in the 555. And to the outside from Menominee, that's the 100 of Drew Alton. Starting all alone on row number 5 from Cumberland, Wisconsin, that's Ramon Perez in the 25. It's a lot of L-checks out there and a lot of 5s on those carts.
And a cool thing about those Velcheks, we actually have 3 separate generations of Velcheks out there. The 5 of Wes Velchek out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. The granddad out there, his son is going to be the 555 of Matt Velchek. And then Matt Velchek's son, Wes Velchek's grandson, is going to be the 55 of Trayton. So once again, Wes, Matt, and Trayton, 3 separate generations of Velcheks hitting the track tonight for our Sportsman heat race.
And I apologize to the person's name that was just up there. Right now, it's carts. Our 9th division, Dan, right now it's go-karts right now currently. Our 9th division to hit the track tonight is the Midget Series, the Gopher Midget Series. So it's a plethora of karts, micro sprints, and then midgets. Hopefully that helps you out, Dan.
Lots of great racing action here at Thunder Hill Speedway, where we have a class for just about everyone. You can see right now they're doing some light track prep, just making sure everything is all set and ready to go before we get to our low riders, the Sportsman class, making sure that the track is nice and smooth for them. We've got about, what would you say that is, maybe a half-inch gap between the bottom of their carts and the track surfaces, so just want to make sure everything is smoothed out and ready to go so we can give you guys some great racing action here on this nice 6-mile oval in Menominee, Wisconsin. While we're at it, we have a couple moments. We want to take some time to thank a few of our sponsors for the season, being able to bring racing action here to Thunder Hill Speedway. Got to give a shout out to People's State Banks, Culver's of Menominee, Coyote's Den out of Menominee, and the Timber Inn Bar and Grill. Thankful to all of them for being along for the ride all year long here at the 2025 QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series. And a special thank you tonight to tonight's sponsors. We have Red Cedar Speedway joining us, along with TNT Construction, thanking them for being along as tonight's premier sponsors and joining us for the full 2025 season here at Thunder Hill Speedway. You can see our Sportsman flat carts out on the track now, ready to go. We're going to get them all lined up as we have the triple generations of Velcheks getting in line. Wes Velchek on the outside of row number 1, Trayton Velchek, the grandson, on the outside of row number 2, the 555 of Matt Velchek, splitting the difference between the two of them age-wise on the inside of row number 4. Green flag is going to fly, and we're 3 wide into turn 1. Now, dare I say, we had a moment of 5 wide racing there coming out of turn number 4. The Sportsmen do not disappoint here tonight.
With great battling back in the field, Savalls leads. Trayton Velchek in the second spot. Now give it to Jake Johnson in 74. Savalls stretching out that lead. Last time by was a half a second. This time around, Steve Savalls' lead will be nearly a second.
Savalls, Johnson, the 55 of Trayton Velchek, Perez, and Alton going to be your top 5 as it currently stands. That back half of the field, though, is just about anyone's game as we're still 3 wide racing onto the back straightaway. Perez, Alton, side by side in a battle for 4th and 5th. We even have a 6th place competitor trying to get in on the mix there as well. Lots of great racing action here for the Sportsman heat race. You know, we had over 4 inches of rain this week, so the bottom groove of the track is being a challenge, but these Sportsmen wouldn't let you know otherwise. Savalls out front all alone as he's going to take the white flag.
Steve Savalls has led the whole way down the back stretch through turn 3 and 4 for the last time. Steve Savalls wins the first heat race. Second will go to Jake Johnson, Trayton Velchek in third, Drew Alton fourth. Ashton Henshin in the 5th spot, Ramon Perez 6th, Matt Velchek 7th, Josh Fuster in 8th, and West Velchek rounds out the field in 9th.
Now, I've been around racing for a majority of my 27 years on this planet, and I gotta say, I could count on one hand the number of times I have seen a race with a 5-wide battle for position. And it probably wouldn't even fill my whole hand there. That was some crazy racing in the Sportsman class. 9 racers out there, and we had more than half of the competitors all in a single row at one point. We always talk about how great it is to watch the K&K Racing micro sprints, but we got to give our flowers to the Sportsman classes. They always put on a heck of a show as well. That is our Sportsman heat race. Now we're moving into a 2-wide double heat for the 125-250 wing class. Colin, I'll let you take away the starting lineup for heat race number 1.
Inside of row number 1, it's Indianola, Iowa's Riley Dawson in the 6D. Landon Supri in the 99 Junior from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin starts in the 2nd spot. Inside row number 2, it's Tyler Alton from New Richmond, Wisconsin in 30. Starting in the 4th spot, Holden Harder, Holden from Madison, Wisconsin in the UFO 2. Starting in the 5th spot from Elk Mound, Wisconsin, is Brody Conkey driving number 8. And to the outside, Nick Moulter in the 13E from Bruce, Wisconsin. And starting all alone on row number 4, it's Audrey Trasseth from Birchwood, Wisconsin in the 2A. Once again, our first heat race of 2 tonight for the 125-250 wing division. A lot of competitors coming a good distance away here in this first heat race. One from Indianola, Iowa, and the other one from Madison, Wisconsin. As the field starts to bunch up.
Out. Misty Lockburner says, "Go get 'em, Audrey." Sending some love through the MBTVsports.com comments section. We've got them all lined up, tightened, and ready to go. I believe we will be going green flag racing this time by. We make our way through turns 3 and 4. Flag's going to fly, and it's going to be the 30 of Alton leading the pace into turns 1 and 2.
Not a very good start for Riley Dawson, who's usually quick on the trigger in the 6th, but leading lap number 1, it's Alton in number 30. Harder in 2nd, Moulter, and then Dawson falls back to the 4th spot. Once again, out front, it's Tyler Alton in 30.
Alton gonna backtrack to 2nd, as I believe it's the 8 of Conkey. Now setting the pace out there as we have one racer going around. Looks like that's the 99 JR of Supri. Which is going to draw the caution. We'll get them re-racked and restacked.
It looks like the transponder for Conkey not tripping. So Brody Conkey will be your leader in the number 8. And then it'll be Tyler Alton, Holton Harder, Nick Moulter, Riley Dawson, Audrey Trasseth, and then Landon Supri will join the field at the tail as he'll get that 99 restart.
Two laps into this 8-lap heat race for heat race number 1 of 2 in our 125-250 wing class. We have 7 racers making the call for this first heat, 6 for race number 2, for a total of 13 racers that will be making it into our feature race later on this evening. Making sure everyone is back in their correct starting lineup, and it looks like we might be doing a single file start here coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is going to fly, and it's going to be the 8 of Conkey leading the pack into turns 1 and 2. Matt Morehouse saying, "Go get them."
Conkey leading the best battle on the speedway right now was for that 2nd spot. Carter had it at the line, but Alton got him back through turn 1 and 2. Good battle now between Dawson and Moulter. Dawson gets that spot. He'll set his sights on Harder in that UFO2. Alton is in the second spot, but Conkey continues to lead in the number 8. But the yellow flag will come out once again for Supri in 99.
99 JR suffering. Having some struggles in turn numbers 3 and 4. Second time he's gone around in that specific spot. Now, like I was saying earlier on, we did get about 4 inches of rain this week here at Thunder Hill Speedway. So that bottom groove is definitely going to be a challenge for all of our racers out there. Not the greatest track conditions that they've seen here before. We were able to get the track pretty well compared to how it was over the past few days. Definitely raceable and everything, but that bottom line where you see Supri having some issues there in turns 3 and 4. We've seen a few other racers go around in that same spot earlier on today. It's definitely going to be the tough spot to watch on the track for sure. Supri able to get around though, get it restarted. It looks like he's actually going to pull off. His heat race has come to a close. The 99 JR of Landon Supri no longer out on the track. So we started with 7. We're going to be down to 6 through turns 3 and 4 as Conkey is going to put the pedal to the metal and pull away from that now 2-rider battle for second and third.
Conkey's got the top spot. Battle for second. Alton still has it now. Here comes the 6 of Dawson right to the back bumper of Harder. Dawson looks to the inside down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. 2 laps to go now for Conkey. Dawson able to get to the 3rd spot. Conkey down the back straightaway continues to stretch out the lead.
White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for your heat race leader, Brody Conkey. Has led every lap here so far. Coming out of turn number 4, checkered is gonna fly for Brody Conkey, the number 8, taking the heat race win today in the 125-250 wing class. It'll be the 30 of Alton, finishing second. The 6D, your current points champion, gonna round out your top 3 for heat race number 1 of 2. Heat race number 2, gonna come at you like this. 6 racers about to hit the track. Row number 1 on the pole, it's the 52 of Pella, Iowa's Knox Peterson, alongside Blake DeSmith racing the 66B out of Downing, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2, we have Davin Hawk racing the 22 out of Rice Lake, Wisconsin, alongside Wheeler, Wisconsin's Bentley Holopka in the 99. And in that 3rd and final row, we have the 29 of Menominee, Wisconsin's very own Caleb Kropp, alongside Jackson Helland, the 2.0 out of Cadott, Wisconsin. 6 carts, 8 laps for your second heat race of the 125-250 wing class. Want to take another quick moment here before we get back into green flag action to give a huge shout out to William Denzer at Schaefer's Specialized Lubricants along the ride as a stream sponsor for MBTV Sports. Also sending some love to Tech Connect for all your audio and security needs. All along for the ride to bring us some streaming content here all year long at Thunder Hill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin. Going to give these carts a couple laps to make sure their tires are all warm and ready to go. One cart pulling down to the infield. And then we'll slow them back down, re-rack them, restack them in their correct starting order. Before we officially get to green flag racing for heat race number 2, our second to last heat race of the night. Up next, we're going to have our Gopher Midget Racing Series heat race, followed by our 2 B main events. That is the Arbox and Junior Wing class. Then we'll move into our first feature race of the night, the Rookie Cage class, I believe, before we take our brief intermission and move into our final main events of the evening. Green flag is going to fly. The 52 of Peterson going to set the pace into 1 and 2.
Peterson's got the top spot, but here comes the 22 of Hauk. Peterson's got it, and then it's Hauk, Halapka, DeSmith, and Krop. And then Helen. Now here comes the 22 to the inside of Hauk. Hauk's got the spot on lap number 2.
Got a 2-racer battle for the lead, a nice little 2-racer battle for 3rd and 4th. Our lone 5th place competitor just outside of that battle. Out front and pulling away, though, the 22 of Davin Hauk, setting a blistering pace. He started in row number 2, and he's already got about a 1.5-second gap advantage over the 52 of Peterson, currently sitting at 2nd with 3 laps left to go in this final heat race for the 125-250 wing class.
Everybody's stretching themselves out now around the Thunderhill Speedway. 2 laps to go for Davin Hauk. Lead this time 1.8 seconds. White flag will fly. 1 more lap to go.
As he gets into some lap traffic on the back straightaway. Looks like he's going to cool his jets just a bit. Give him another chance to get around. Checkered flag is going to fly, though, for the 22 of Davin Hauk taking the heat race win tonight. It'll be the 52 of Peterson finishing 2nd, and the 99 of Bentley Halapka going to round out your top 3 for heat race number 2 of the 125-250 wing class. And on to our final heat race of the night, our Gopher Midget Racing Series class. Colin, I'll let you take it away with the starting lineup.
Starting on the inside of row number 1, the young racer from River Falls, Wisconsin. You saw him win a micro sprint heat race. It's Carter Jensrud in C71. And to the outside, he's a multi-time UMSS wing sprint car champion. He's from Now Then, Minnesota. That's Ryan Bowers in 55. Ty Wilkie from Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, driving 72W inside of row number 2. And to the outside, he's the all-time winningest driver at the Houston Speedway in the 360 sprint cars. That's the 64. It's Jody Rosenboom. Young racer starting on the inside of row number 3. He's from Osceola, Wisconsin. That's the 76 of Edison Aldrich. And starting in the 6th and final spot from Owatonna, Minnesota, that's the 85. It's JP3 Johnny Parsons III. Six cars going 8 laps for your final heat race of the evening. And once again, you can rent some of these cars on the Jody Rosenboom stable. You can see a multitude of these cars racing around the upper Midwest along with the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals. Jody is more than happy to help you out and get in a rental ride. He's got multiple cars. I believe he's got 6 of them at the shop. He's got 2 of them here tonight. So if you or anyone that you know is interested in a rental ride, get a hold of Jody Rosenboom with Rosie's Raceland LTD.
Final heat race of the night about to hit the track for their green flag. Up next, we have our Arbox B main. 12 racers for 10 laps in that class, followed up by our junior wing B main, which will be 8 racers duking it out for 8 laps. Before we move into our rookie cage feature and then our quick intermission, but right now, final heat race of the night, Gopher Midget Racing Series. 6 midgets, 8 laps. We're tightening it up as we bring it onto the backstretch. Jensrud, Bowers, Wilkie, Rosenboom, Aldrich, Parsons, your lineup going through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is going to fly. Jensrud going to lead the class into 1 and 2, taking the extreme high line 4 wide, coming out of 2 onto the back straightaway. It's Jensrud Bowers up top. Down to the bottom, I believe that's the 64 of Rosenboom sitting in third.
Jensrud continues to lead, and then it's Bowers, Rosenboom, Wilkie, Parsons, and Aldrich. 3 wide back in the field. Give the spot to Wilkie in 72W. Rosenboom climbs his way up to the top side. Jensrud banging the boards, along with Ryan Bowers in the second spot.
Jensrud flying around the track so fast, his top hatch has actually opened up, and he is pulling away already a 1.2 second gap between him and the 55 of Bowers. It's Jensrud, Bowers, Rosenboom, Wilkie, Parsons, Aldrich as your lineup currently stands. Jensrud setting a blistering pace as our track becomes now single file throughout the field.
Jensrud had a 1.8 second advantage that last time by. This time it's down to 1.7. Bowers starting to reel him in, but he probably doesn't have enough time at 1.7. This time around, white flag, 1 lap to go. Checkered flag for Carter Jensrud. Ryan Bowers comes home second, Jody Rosenboom in third, Ty Wilkie in fourth, Johnny Parsons the third in fifth, and Edison Aldrich rounds out the running order in sixth.
And just like that, we've completed our heat racing portion of the evening. We ran through, I believe it was 16 heat races. Now we're going to move into our 2 B mains that we have. And we'll be starting things off with our Arbox class. Our lineup is going to look like this. On the inside of row number 1 out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, the 93 of Kate Knops. Side by side with Minnesota City, Minnesota's Axel Fahrenholtz, racing the 20X machine. Inside row number 2, we have the 1 of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin's Bentley Larson, and to Bentley's right, Henrik Hollerud racing the 19H out of Spring Valley, Wisconsin. Inside row number 3, it's Menominee, Wisconsin's 34 of Brantley Langer, side by side with Josiah Hoffbeck racing the 17 out of Randolph, Minnesota. Row number 4 sees the 32 of Otto Erickson from Colfax, Wisconsin, and Boyceville, Wisconsin's Dakota Buss racing the 787. Inside row number 5, we have the 21 of Thorpe, Wisconsin's Palmer Haas racing alongside Levi Anderson in the 44 out of Elk Mound, Wisconsin. And in that 6th and final row, we have the 777 of Hudson, Wisconsin's Austin Hover, and the 38J of Jace Frericks racing out of Grove City, Minnesota. We had 22 racers overall. 12 have been pushed to this B main. So our top 2 competitors are going to be making it through to the A main later on today. We had 10 directly transfer through the heat races. And now those top 2 spots are going to be the last positions able to get into our A main for the Arbox class later on this evening. So we're going to be watching the battle up at the front of the field, seeing who's able to get it transferred through to add one more race onto their evening. In the meantime, though, before we do that, we're just doing some light track prep. Again, just wanted to remind everyone out there, we did have quite a bit of rain this week, over 4 inches. So the bottom grooves being a little challenging for us. We just want to make sure we're giving the best racing conditions possible for our racers out there. So we're just making sure the track is all set and ready to go. Along with that, another quick reminder that today is round number 4 of the 2025 QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here at Thunder Hill Speedway. We will be back again in 2 weeks for what is a non-points class racing event. However, though we're not racing for points, we're going to be racing for something even better, folks. Cold, hard cash. Yes, you heard that right. July 23rd's Wednesday night special is going to be a money race in every class with the exception of the rookie cage carts. So keep an eye on Facebook. The full details will be coming out soon, but we're going to be having lots of racing action coming at you guys in just about 2 weeks, July 23rd, for the Wednesday night special. And while we have another quick second, I want to send some love to a few of our sponsors who have been along for the ride for the 2025 season. Haas Inc., Accurate Construction, JK Concrete LLC over on the construction work side. And for some groceries and food and drink needs, we can't forget about Liquid Nitro, Old World Meats, Doan Ltd., and Dick's Fresh Market, thanking them for all of their help for the 2025 season. But tonight's premier sponsors are going to be Red Cedar Speedway and TNT Construction, your headline sponsors for round number 4 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here at Thunderhill Speedway in good old Menominee, Wisconsin, where we are live streaming tonight's events on MBTVSports.com and through the affiliated MBTV Sports Facebook, YouTube page, and Twitter/X page. For those of you live streaming tonight's events, we are going to take a quick commercial break here. We will be back in just a couple moments before we get to some Arbox B main event racing.
Inside and out, committed to finding the Every great journey begins with a trusted guide, and when it comes to finding your perfect home, there's no one better than Kathy Vetter. With over 10 years of experience and a passion for real estate, Kathy Vetter helps you find the perfect home, a peaceful country retreat, a cozy single-family house, or your very first step toward a lifetime home. She also specializes in commercial real estate, guiding you through every step of the way. From the heart of the metro to the scenic countryside, Kathy Vetter knows the Minnesota market inside and out, committed to finding the perfect fit for you, no matter where you are. Buying your first home can feel overwhelming, but with Vetter by your side, it's a smooth and exciting journey. She makes first-time buyers feel confident, supported, and understood, every single step of the way. From your first showing to handing over the keys, Kathy Vetter works tirelessly to ensure you get the home you've always wanted. Kathy Vetter, your trusted real estate expert across Minnesota. From vibrant metro living to serene countryside escapes to agricultural and commercial spaces. Let her help you unlock the door to your next chapter.
And we're back, getting ready for our first of 2 B mains on the evening. We'll be starting things off with our Arbox B feature. Before we move into our junior wing B main, we have our carts out on the track, just making sure everyone is ready to go in their correct starting lineup. We have 12 carts who are supposed to be making the call tonight. Once again, it's going to be Knops and Fahrenholtz in row number 1, Larson and Hollerud in row 2. Row 3 has Langer and Hoffbeck. Row 3 is Erickson and Bust, Haas and Anderson in row 5, and Hover and Frericks rounding out your 6-row field. 12 carts in total for 10 laps around this 6-mile track. Looks like we have a couple carts struggling to start over there. Just making sure they are all lined up and ready to go. Don Hover says, "Go Austin Hover, go 777." Austin Hover starting in row number 6, getting some love from the team and crew. Of Haas, the 44 of Anderson, and then there we have Hover and Frericks. Completing your 12-cart lineup, everyone is in their correct starting order. We're going to send them on to the back straightaway, and I believe we're going to be going green this time by.
Knops and Fahrenholtz bring us to the green of your first B main of the evening, and we're underway out of turn number 4. Fahrenholtz gets the jump down the front straightaway, and then it's Knops. Knops to the inside. Go side by side out of turn number 2. Give the top spot to the number 93 of Kate Knopps. Leading lap number 1 as we've got one almost over in turn 4. That'll bring out the yellow.
Now, as a reminder, only our top 2 karts are going to be transferring through to the A main from this race. So we will be having a lot of close racing action out front today for the next 10 laps. Looks like that was the 44 of Anderson going around. We'll take a quick look at this replay. Anderson looping it, gets down into that low line there, almost gets up on their side. Able to save it though, Levi Anderson gonna stick on all 4 wheels. But now we had all that rain here the past few days, so like we've been saying all night, that low line is going to be a bit rough for our racers. We're doing all we can. We've made the track pretty solid compared to where it was looking a few days ago after those 4 inches of rain we had, but it is still going to be a bit challenging for our racers who are opting to take the low line on the track this evening. Janelle Wright says, go 34, Brantley Langer, enjoy the thrill and have fun. Brantley Langer starting on the inside of row number 3, trying to battle for that one of 2 transfer positions up at the front of the field. Our karts look to be in their correct starting lineup. The 17 of Hoffbeck may have stalled there. We're going to give him a quick pull start there. Hoffbeck is all ready to go. Now we'll just take a quick moment to get everyone relined up in their correct starting order before we get back to some green flag action.
Trying to get the front row to just slow down a little bit so the field can catch up and get nose to tail. Looks like they're doing so over there. We'll try it again with no laps in the books. And we will go back to the green.
I believe that was the 34 of Langer with a quick dip down to the inside there coming out of turn number 4. Nice start for Langer. And he has moved himself up to one of the 2 transfer positions there and is now up into your B main lead position. So it's Langer out front all alone. Right behind Langer is going to be the 20X of Fahrenholt, holding on to that second and final transfer spot ahead of the hungry Knops. Sitting there in third, Knops looking just about every way to try to make a move on that final transfer position. Needs to get that second place spot figured out. Fahrenholt has a hold of it. Knops looks to the outside. Nothing quite going there. Ducks down to the inside. But it's still Langer, Fahrenholt, Knops, Hollerud, Haas, your top 5.
Battle to keep the eye on right now is for that second and final transfer position. This time by 5 laps down, 5 laps to go for Brantley Langer in 34. Axel Fahrenholt still has the spot. Kate Knopps makes the mistake, goes around. Big contact there as the yellow flag will come out.
Halfway through this B main, and that is not what the 93 of Kate Knopps wanted to see happen. Battling for that final transfer position. And this is going to cause some issues for Kate as she tries to make her way back through the field and hopefully fight for that transfer position once again. Can't quite see who Kate's all locked up with. You can see her going around a hard hit there. And I believe that's turn number 3. Or turn 2, I apologize. Gets sideways coming out of turn 2. One kart able to avoid, but it's the 19H of Hollerud banging hard into Kate's side. Both coming to a stop in the middle of turn number 2. Checking in on Kate, just making sure she is okay after a tough hit there. And it looks like Kate is getting the push to the infield. So I do believe Kate's night has unfortunately come to a close. Back on the track, however, getting the 19H of Hollerud. All set. Troy Jensrud says, can't thank MBTV enough for the broadcast. As a father of C71 at work. Well, Troy, we're happy to bring you and all the other viewers here some live racing coverage of Thunder Hill Speedway. We're happy to be along for the ride so we can provide you this racing action. We know not everyone's able to make it out to the track every week here, and so we're happy to be able to, provide a little bit of that racing action at work for you this evening. And that's a good reminder for everyone out there in the stands. If you have any friends or family members who weren't able to make it tonight, they had to work, they were out of town, something else came up, feel free to send them that link to mbtvsports.com so they can still be a part of the action coming through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is going to fly. Langer's going to lead them into 1 and 2 with Langer and Fahrenholtz in those 2 lone transfer positions.
Battle starting to heat up once again for the second spot. This time it's Fahrenholtz and Haas. Haas in the 21, Fahrenholtz in the 20. 4 laps to go now for Langer in number 34.
Langer pulling away with the lead, but that battle is for the final transfer position. Fahrenholtz has it. Haas wants it. 0.3 second gap between them last time by side on the front stretch this time around. Slight advantage still going to Fahrenholtz, but that 0.3 second gap has turned down to a 0.15 second gap, as now Fahrenholtz is able to get a little bit of space on Haas at the white flag. 1 more lap to go for that battle for position. Langer out front through turns 3 and 4. White flag
as the white is out over Brantley Langer. Fahrenholtz able to stretch out that gap for the second and final transfer spot, but out of turn number 4, Brantley Langer transfers into tonight's A main and will bring along Axel Fahrenholtz in the number 20.
Hard-fought battle there for Fahrenholtz. Finished third in the heat race, still had to fight through the B main, but was able to come out in that final transfer position out front, though. 34 Langer taking that B main win. Both racers will be seen a little bit later on this evening as we get into our A main event. That was our first B main of the night, Arbox class. Up next, we're going to have our junior wing B main event where we have 8 racers going head-to-head for 8 laps. Starting lineup is going to look like this. Inside row number 1, we have Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin's Dylan Subert piloting the 1S alongside the 70 of Owen Tarvis out of Cameron, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2, we see the 30 of Chautauqua, Wisconsin's Nathan Gunderson and the 85T of Ty Prochnow out of River Falls, Wisconsin. Inside row number 3, we have the 7DJ of Kinsley Schmutz from good old Menominee, Wisconsin, side by side with Bruce, Wisconsin's Mason Lockburner racing the 20. And inside that 4th and final row, we have the 21M of Woodville, Wisconsin's Owen Malmgren and Alan Byrne piloting the 8 out of Trempealeau, Wisconsin. As the green flag flies, Tarvis and Subert going to lead them into 1 and 2.
Give the spot to Tarvis. Subert in the second spot. Good battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Give it to Gunderson and now Byrne, but Tarvis leads lap number 1.
Now again, it's the top 2 racers who will be transferring through to the A main later on this evening. We had 18 total, 8 in this B main event. Caitlin Link says, go Bulldozer, go fast and take chances. Hashtag 7DJR, giving a shout out to Kinsley Schmutz. Halfway through this heat race, Tarvis and Subert out front, and a little bit of gap before we get back to that battle for 3rd on back between Byrne, Lockburner, and Gunderson.
Alan Byrne starting to reel in Subert in the 1S. That's the battle for your final transfer spot. Byrne coming from the 8th and final starting spot. He's within a couple kart lengths of Subert in 1S.
2 laps to go, and that battle for the final transfer spot is definitely heating up. Subert has it. Byrne wants it. One more time, out of 3 and 4, side by side onto the front straightaway at the white flag. Byrne's going to make the move. Subert's going to battle back down to the inside. Whose game is it going to be? Bumping and banging to the checkered. Byrne going to take the slight advantage here and transfer through to the main. Tarvis is going to be your B-main race winner. Byrne going to transfer through. And this is definitely going to mix up your points championship as it sits. The 1S of Dylan Subert not transferring through to the A main event. Yet Dylan currently sitting in 2nd place overall in the championship. So this will shake things up quite a bit. And now we're going to move on to our first feature race of the evening after our rookie cage class. We are going to take a brief intermission before we get into the rest of our main events, but your lineup is going to look like this. We have the 13 of Julian Logslet racing out of Colfax, Wisconsin, alongside the 60 JR of Mila Baker from Boyd, Wisconsin. We have the Winona, Minnesota piloted 5S of Sam Pettit, and Owatonna, Minnesota's Brooklyn Demmel racing the 11. Theo LeBlanc racing the 22 out of Downsville, Wisconsin, and Jack Smith out of Fall Creek, Wisconsin, going to be racing the 16 machine as we send our rookie cage racers out for their main event race. The 16 of Jack Smith putting some solid laps in the book already. All of our racers putting some nice effort into this feature race, our first feature race of the evening. And now, just like we did with our heat race, we do things a little bit more casually for the rookie cage class. These are those brand new racers. Most likely it's either their first or second season behind the wheel of a kart, still getting a feel for, what it's like to be driving a vehicle firstly. We have youngsters out there, ages 5 to 7, I believe it is. So, they're still getting a feel for what it's like to use pedals, steering wheels, racing on a track, racing against others, being behind the wheel. So we have some nice racing action out there. Not going to line them up traditionally, just kind of send them the green flag and let them go. And boy, are they putting on a great display for us already. We see a few nice side-by-side battles. 16 of Smith and the 11 of Demmel. Demmel looking to the outside, making moves on quite a few racers there. Demmel able to get by 2 racers in 1 corner. Now setting her sights on the 13 of Julian Logslet. As we have the 16 of Smith looping it around down on the inside portion of turn number 2. Melissa Forch Demmel says, "Go Brooklyn and Sammy." Brooklyn Demmel racing the 11, Sam Pettit racing the 5S out of Winona, Minnesota. And it looks like the 16 of Smith going to get restarted and back on the track here. And Rose DeBear says, "Love rookie cage, go Theo, go," number 22. The rookie cage class, though it may not be as high thrilling as, our K&K Racing Micro Sprints, the Sportsman class, honestly, I personally think the rookie cage class is one of the most fun classes to watch because these right here are the future of our sport. These are the racers that we will be watching out on the track for the next 5, 10, 20, 30, heck, maybe even 40, 50 years out there. So getting to be able to say, we saw them when they were first getting behind the wheel of a kart, always a magical experience. Nice little side-by-side action going on there. On the front straightaway, we now have a 3, soon-to-be 4 racer battle for position as we're making our way around some traffic. The 11 of Brooklyn Demmel showing these racers how it's done today. Taking a nice look at the 22 of Theo LeBlanc as well, powering through turns 3 and 4 onto the front stretch. Another lap in the books for our rookie cage class. Demel and Pettit battling it out on the back straightaway. Demel getting by another competitor there. White flag is out. One more lap to go for our racers in this first main event of round number 4 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series. And the checkered flag is going to fly. All 6 of our rookie cage competitors going to take the checkered flag. And one other thing that's going to be slightly different in this class as opposed to our other classes as well. You know, with these youngsters being new to racing, we're going to give them all the experience that they are looking for as we let all 6 of our competitors make their way into the Thunder Hill Speedway victory lane tonight to celebrate their time out on the track. So we'll take a moment here and let the 13 of Julian Logslet, the 60 JR of Mila Baker, the 5S of Sam Pettit, the 11 of Brooklyn Demel, the 22 of Theo LeBlond, and the 16 of Jack Smith a chance to pull into victory lane. Looks like one of our racers a little excited to get back on the track there. Gonna loop them back into the infield here. Looks like that was the 5S of Sam Pettit. We'll give Sam a chance to get out from behind the wheel. And we'll let all of our racers make their way over to the Thunder Hill Speedway victory lane, brought to you tonight by TNT Construction and Red Cedar Speedway. Looks like 4 of our racers already lined up in victory lane, just waiting on 2 more. And as those last 2 come up, once again, Julian Logslet, Mila Baker, Sam Pettit, Brooklyn Demel, Theo LeBlond, Jack Smith. Give all 6 of our rookie cage racers your loudest round of applause for the evening. There we go. All 6 of our racers have made it. Once again, Julian Logslet, Jack Smith, Mila Baker, Theo LeBlond, Sam Pettit, and Brooklyn Demel. Give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We'll let all 6 of our racers celebrate their time in victory lane, get some nice victory lane photos, enjoy their time, and in the meantime, we're going to take a brief intermission, do a little bit of track prep, get all set and ready to go for our final 8 feature races of the evening. In the meantime, for those of you at the track right now, feel free to get up, stretch your legs, run to the concession stand, hit up the restroom, be back for some racing action here momentarily. For those of you live streaming tonight's events for free on MBTVSports.com, get up, head off the couch, grab some food, get all set and ready to go, and we will be back soon for more green flag action here after our brief intermission at Thunder Hill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
The problem, tell you why it's happening and what you should do to prevent it in the future. Me and my team have been together for over 20 years.
All right, everybody. Good evening. My name is Bill Sleep. I'm the treasurer of Rolling Thunder Dirt Legends, group that we've got together to help promote these cars, help promote the track, Thunder Hill, quality freight rate, everything that Matt does on MBTV. Anyway, we're big promoters. One of the things we did, come out with a legend of the night that we chose. We chose one every week. This week we chose Chris. Little tough for me to do this one since he's my kid. I'm sorry. He's my child, but he's still an adult. Very proud of him, everything he's done out here, not only for this track, the Legend Group. Over the past 15 years, he's done a lot for racing in the community. Continues to. Well deserving of this award. So congratulations, Chris, Legend of the Night. He also receives a $75 gift certificate to Legends Direct. If you want to see some of the work that Chris does for not just the racetrack, but everybody else, you need to check him out on Sleep Racing on YouTube and Sleep Racing on Facebook. The other thing that we've chose to do is we chose a Junior Legend of the Night. So one of the children from up in the stands here, 12 and under, you all have a number. Chris is going to draw a number. We're going to bring that child down here to get some pictures and to get some gifts and an award for the Junior Legend of the Night. So if all you kids have your tickets, we're going to draw one here. Oh, Chris already has the number. Number 75. 75. Somebody has 75 out there? There it is up there. If you want to come down by the concession stand, we have a couple of people down there. They will bring you down. A lot of the stuff that Chris has done, not only for the track, for the racing, for the class, for the other classes. Every time Chris does something, it comes from his heart, and it's for the other racers, and it's for all you fans up in the stands. That's all he talks about, is not winning races, but putting on a show. If you head over by the concession stand, the gal in the pink waving up in the air, big wave, she will bring you down here. They'll be down shortly. We do appreciate all you fans coming out here. We appreciate Matt Bull and MBTV Sports, QualityFreightRate.com, and Chad and all the crew out here at Thunder Hill. It's an awesome place, awesome crowd. Thank you all.
How about that? What a cool addition here. Legend of the night. Congratulations, Mr. Sleep.
Painful steps shouldn't be part of your daily routine. At Foot and Ankle Clinics, PA, we specialize in diagnosing and treating a wide range of foot and ankle conditions, from heel pain and bunions to diabetic foot care and sports injuries. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jeff Pellersells and Dr. Russell John Hill, bring decades of experience and a compassionate approach to every patient. At our clinic, we are dedicated to serving the community with the highest level of care. Your well-being is our top priority. Serving the communities of Woodbury, West St. Paul, and Edina, we're committed to providing personalized care tailored to your needs. Don't let foot or ankle pain hold you back. Visit footandankleclinics.com to schedule your appointment today.
With over 40 years of experience producing quality racing components, we're excited to unveil the Kevco Drive Shaft. Our Kevco Drive Shafts are 100% made in the USA from USA-sourced materials. We have developed our drive shafts using precision machine yokes that offer more clearance with higher strength than any other shaft on the market. Our yokes are then zinc-plated black for long-lasting protection. All our drive shafts are meticulously hand-built and balanced on our brand-new Superior Driveline Shaft Master drive shaft machine. Every carbon fiber Kevco drive shaft comes loaded with Spicer 1310, solid body, non-greasable.
Painful steps shouldn't be part of your daily routine. At Foot and Ankle Clinics, PA, we specialize in diagnosing and treating.
With over 40 years of experience producing quality racing components, we're excited to unveil the Kevco Drive Shaft. Our Kevco drive shafts are 100% made in the USA from USA-sourced materials. We have developed our drive shafts using precision machine yokes that offer more clearance with higher strength than any other shaft on the market. Our yokes are then zinc-plated black for long-lasting protection. All our drive shafts are meticulously hand-built and balanced on our brand-new Superior Driveline Shaft Master drive shaft machine. Every carbon fiber Kevco drive shaft comes loaded with Spicer 1310, solid body, non-greasable universal joints for superior strength. We offer U-joints, U-bolts, slip yokes, and anything you may need for your drive shaft. Kevco has the ability to custom build any length drive shaft for any application you may need, whether it be mild steel, chromoly, aluminum, or carbon fiber. Call us today at 800-770-3557 or check us out on the web at kevcoracing.com.
When you've got to ship it from anywhere to anywhere,
QualityFreightRate.com.
The LTL Freight Logistics Specialist for your small business.
QualityFreightRate.com.
We simplify shipping, eliminate those surprise charges, and negotiate the best rates from most LTL qualified carriers.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Special residential and liftgate rates available for automotive and ag implements.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Use the promo code ICE and get 10% off your first shipment. Startup is so easy. Get a quote and ship today. QualityFreightRate.com.
Ready to make a splash this summer? Grab your friends and head to River's Edge on the scenic Apple River. Whether you're looking to float the day away, camp under the stars, or catch live music and weekend events, River's Edge has everything you need for an unforgettable time. Book your tube, campsite, or party package now. River's Edge on the Apple River. Your summer starts here.
Welcome back, race fans. We've made our way through the heat races, through the B mains, and through our first main event of the evening, and now we're going to move into our remainder of the main events here tonight. We have 8 races left to hit the track. Our micro sprint class, rookie cage already raced, so we have our Arbox class to follow. Then it'll end up being our junior wing competitors, followed by our Legends Direct Legend cars, intermediate wing, Sportsman, 125, 250 wings, and our Gopher Midget Racing Series will round out the following 8 feature races of the night. As a quick reminder for what's to come before we get into these last few feature races of the evening, we'll be back here in 2 weeks on Wednesday, July 23rd for the Wednesday night special, where though we may not be racing for points, we're racing for something even more important, some cold hard cash money races in every class except the rookie cage carts. So feel free to come on out 2 weeks from tonight, where we'll be back on the 6th mile Thunder Hill Speedway Oval with some great racing action in all of our classes. In the meantime, we are officially back on the track with our K&K Racing Micro Sprints class. We have 17 racers lining up, about to hit the track for 20 head-to-head laps. Colin, I'll let you take things over with our starting lineup for the K&K Racing Micro Sprints.
Starting on the inside of row number 1, it's Brendan Newville from Clear Lake, Wisconsin, driving 249X. Starting to the outside from Trempealeau, Wisconsin, at the 28, it's Mason Hale. Inside of row number 2, Marshall Willing in 128 from Becker, Minnesota. And to the outside, it's Carter Gentrude from River Falls, Wisconsin in C71. Starting in the 5th spot, Welcome, North Carolina's Jaden Wagner in the 8W. And to the outside, from New Richmond, Wisconsin, that's the 37 of Landon Davis. Inside of row number 4, it's Jackson Jiraji in the 46G from Ellsworth, Wisconsin. And to the outside, Brody Urbanski from Lakeland, Minnesota, driving 22. Inside of row number 5 from Waupun, Wisconsin, that's the 26P of Jackson Peters. And to the outside, Brandon Friedrich from Hudson, Wisconsin, driving 3J. Starting in the 11th spot from Welch, Minnesota, that's the 99 of Mason Subert. And to the outside from Trempealeau, Wisconsin, it's Matty Hale in 28X. Starting 13th, it's Tyler Pulofsky from Stacy, Minnesota in the 323. Starting 14th, it's Alyssa Eady in the 100 from St. Michael, Minnesota. Starting 15th from Otter Creek, Wisconsin, that's the 23. It's Kelly Turner, and to the outside, driving the number 10 from St. Cloud, Minnesota, it's Owen Henricks. And starting all alone in the 17th position from Bertram, Minnesota, that's the 7C of Charlie Wolbeck. 17 cars going to go 20 laps for tonight's Micro Sprint A main event as the field starts to bunch up here at Thunderhill Speedway.
And let's take a look at that absolute beautiful sunset that we have going on here tonight. Nice racing conditions. Happy to be out here for 20 more laps of action-packed racing as the green flag comes out. And it's going to be the 249X of Newville leading the charge through turns 1 and 2.
Who will lead lap number 1 at the line? It's going to be Brendan Newville by 9 1/1000ths of a second over Mason Hale. Newville on the bottom once again, Hale on the top. This time at the line, Newville's got it by a little over a tenth.
Newville now taking sole possession of that top spot, but he's got a 3-wide battle for second, third, and fourth right behind him as we have one racer going around in turn 3 and 4. Looks like he hit that greasy stuff down at the bottom. That's the 323 of Pulofsky, looping it around in the middle of 3 and 4. And we got some slick conditions down there, definitely making it a challenging spot for the racers. Chad Singleton says normally my money would be on the 19L or 8, but tonight it's the C71. C71 of Carter Jensrud, I believe, has won every race out here that he has been to this year. He missed last week as he was out racing at another track, but Jensrud is putting on a heck of a show for us, not just in this class, but all classes that he is racing in. Some great racing action out there from all of our K&K Racing micro sprints, however. We've got them all realigned up. Going to give them another lap just to make sure they are in a little bit tighter formation for us, so we are ready to go green flag racing momentarily.